Forgot to put my earphones in, but again, I'm pretty loud. So I'm gonna use this clipboard today. I will have to go look up which inlay this is, but this is paint inlays. You can see like it is artist grade paint on this. And so it looks hand painted. It just melds together where the transfers, which are amazing, set a little bit on top. So let's get started because we're gonna have to let this paint inlay dry. I don't want you to be scared of paint inlays. They are so good. They are used 2 to 3 times, so you get more than one use out of them. And it is not a hard technique. So we're just gonna get going on this. I'm gonna use the DIY weathered wood. This is what it looks like unsealed. It'll be a little brighter when it's sealed. This color, I would have never purchased this color, but I have all the colors. But I watched Sweet and Sassy do it on her bedroom, her own bedroom furniture, and I was like, I never wanted this color. Ugh, I'm never gonna use that one. And I fell in love with this color. It is the most perfect brown gray is what I would call it. It's so good. So that's what we're gonna use. Let me get this going. Let me get set up here a little bit. I told you I was trying to go live once a week. It's mostly gonna be on Tuesday, but we had surprise out-of-state kiddos. We had our Air Force son, let me just get going here, surprise us. He hasn't been home in 4 years. His dad did get to go see him in Las Vegas where he's stationed. Now I'm just, DIY paint goes over metal and everything. Oh, and then we're gonna use one of the new release, again, I don't even know what this one's called. Oh, they have names on them now, hang on. Victoria, we're gonna use the bow on the metal part, but DIY paint goes over metal, glass, fabric. You can use it on a variety of surfaces. Okay, so anyways, he's in the Air Force, and so his dad got to see him about a year ago, but he surprised us all and came home. It was amazing. So he was here, and then he didn't even know his sister, who he hasn't seen in at least 4 years, probably, maybe longer, probably longer, was planning a trip to surprise us. I did know a day or two before. So we were busy with all these 4 grandkids, husband, you know, her husband. And anyway, so I'm gonna start going live on Tuesdays. I think will be the day for the most part. Don't know a set time yet, but I just had too many things going Tuesday to do it. I have custom, as you've seen behind me, I'm working on a custom bedroom set for a client. Really excited to be in doing that. I'm doing it in old school, which is the chalkboard color. Old chalkboard is the perfect name for that because that's what it is. So I'm just doing a really sloppy first coat. This is very porous, whatever this stuff is. It's just a cheapy clipboard from Dollar Tree or so. So it's really sucking this paint up. And you want the paint inlay to be down in the wet paint. So I got my paint covered 1 coat, and now we're just gonna kind of go back over it and make sure it's nice and wet. You know, when you put paper over this, pretty much it's not gonna show, but I think I'm gonna use this to hang jewelry from, or like put signage from my store. So, or you could like lean it up against your counter and stick your recipe so that it'll, you know, recipe stand type thing. You can do stuff like that. So, wow, that stuff, whatever this is, this board, it is very porous. So, and you want the paint inlay needs to be in pretty wet paint, or, well, wet, a decent thick coat, or it will not adhere. The image won't, you know, come across. So let's get that on there pretty good. I'm making lots of texture and brush strokes on purpose. I love that with this paint. Now I did do a smooth finish on this client, so it is possible to do a smoother finish with our paint, but there's steps to that, and I hope to be teaching you guys things like that as I go live on here. Okay, so now I got my scissors, and I really like this pink on this brownie color, so I think I'm gonna just cut some of that off. goodness, this is quite the curve here. Okay, let me grab a water bottle, Mr. Bottle. Hopefully this one works, yep. Because what I do, you don't have to, but it's good to mist the back of the paint inlay, just to kind of open up the pores. You could mist it on front too. And then, because this is drying so fast, I'm gonna go ahead and just make that a little bit wet. Okay, let's see, how do I wanna do this? I think I'm just gonna go down the side here. You just stick it down in to the paint. I'm gonna go ahead and just, you can cut that off, but I like to kind of leave them all together, and then you wanna, you know, re-wet the back of that, or you can take a wet rag or wet sponge and just, you wanna kind of go over it so that it makes the paint inlay kiss, is what I say, the paint. Okay, so we got that one on. Now let's do another one on this side. So you do kind of have to watch and make sure you put the paint side in to the wet paint. You think, oh, that wouldn't be hard to not get messed up, but believe me, you can get it messed up. It's not hard to know, it's just you got to kind of think about it, you know, and especially when we're doing these live tutorials, it's stuff like that can be easier to not pay attention to. Okay, and see how this is kind of like white? Well, you'll know this is ready when it's white. So I'm gonna spray it like that. Open it up. You don't have to do that step. And again, because that's drying so fast, I'm gonna put that there. My bottle's leaking, I don't like that. All right, I'm gonna go up here. Okay, I'm gonna spray the back, or get your wet sponge or wet cloth and make sure to, oh my goodness, this color looks so good on this weathered wood. I love this weathered wood. It is just your bestest ever. It's a good, bold, deep, neutral color, but not harsh black. But it does throw brown instead of the blue grays or the charcoal, you know? So oh, it is so good. So now we're gonna do I wanna do some more? I really like these light ones. This comes in at 2. Okay, well, we're gonna let that dry for a minute. I'm gonna have to help it along. I brought my heat gun. Let's just get that going a little bit. Okay, you can take a blow dryer, heat gun, fan, or just let it air dry. You could do weeks, months, and then come back and get it off. If you use it with the liquid patina, you don't have that much open time. You don't wanna let it get dry forever. Let me just get this going a little bit, and then I'm gonna use this mold. I'm gonna use the bow on this Victoria new release mold. I got the link in the description box to the new release. I just wanna help this along a little bit. You'll know it's ready when it gets, you know, this color again. So actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go set this under my old lady salon hair dryer, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna form this mold with air dry clay. All right, so I like to take, hang on, let me go up a little bit so I can see. I like to take, this is what I did. I took hot glue and put an old makeup brush on top of just this little bitty, and this is my cornstarch. And then it's just always there and ready to go, and I really like that. You do not have to put cornstarch in these, but on these little tiny minute ones, it really does help it to release. But we're just gonna do, well, we're gonna do this one. I know I want that at the top of the, but I might go ahead and, we might just go ahead and do some more real quick because I got it here and I wanna see these. You really wanna, when you're using the air dry clay, you really wanna go ahead and put them on their surface, glue them onto their surface, because they do kind of curl up and they won't be flat if you let them dry and then try to put them on something. Now, some people go ahead and put them flat and put a little piece of painter's tape to keep them down. And then they can, you know, so that's fine too. So just like cooking, I kind of dump some of that out. Okay, this is the air dry clay from Iron Orchid. It is the highest grade artesian clay. Do I use cheap clay sometimes? Yes, depending on what I am doing. But I'm telling you, the cheap clay will make you cuss because it doesn't release as good, and it's harder, especially with these smaller, really intricate things. So the air dry clay really does, from the Iron Orchid, is the best, and I will always keep that and others on hand. Okay, so you just kind of warm it up a little bit, stick it in here. You can use your brayer, which I love using a brayer to really get a flat back. And I'm not going to do these because it's already too long so I'm not going to do the little tassels on this one, which I love so good, but because of where I'm putting it, it will break off because it's too long. So I like our Iron Orchid because it has the patented micro ridge to let you know you've got enough product in there, and it'll be a flat back. So I'm not doing those tassels. Well, you know what? I'm going to do them because I can just cut them off because I want to make sure I got enough length. It's hard to measure just eyeing it, so maybe they will go on there. We'll see. This would be a really good one to use the fast cast resin that sets up in 10 minutes. Because it is so little, some of these are harder to get out with the air dry clay. Okay, now let's see, which other one do I want to do? They're just also cute. I like this little guy here, this little picture frame one. Well, I like them all, but we're going to try that one. You can use a credit card. I just feel like your finger does really good, but sometimes I do I am open, so I hope somebody, well, I hope and don't hope that somebody comes in. Because I did sell some stuff out front earlier, which was nice because I need to get rid of some stuff. Okay, I like to flip these over and work with gravity to let them kind of roll out, and you just got to be gentle or you'll mar it. Look at that. Is she cute? It's so cute. You could just, stamp one of our little fonts in there, or you could, hand paint inside there, put some little bitty baby decoupage paper. This is a great little label thing. Okay, so we're going to lay them there. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Oh, oops, I just about, look at that. Look at the tassels, or even one to dangle. I kind of scrunched that one up a little bit. I hit it, but look at that. Oh, she gonna be so pretty on so many things. I love that. You can make some jewelry with this for sure. Okay, that was so fun. Let's just do another one because I haven't used this one yet. What other one do we want to do? Look at that one. Oh, okay. They're gonna be a little, and look at this, but anyway, look at that tassel one. This is going to be so good on furniture, on anything, and these little bitty birds. What other one do I want to do? Oh, look at that rose. Oh, I like that, whatever that is. It might be a tulip, I think. Man, I didn't even pay attention to that. Let's try that one. It's pretty small. We'll see if it works in this. You can use these for food art. Like, you can bake in these up to 400 degrees. They say to have one set for crafting and one set for food because, you don't want to toxic your people with, unfood grade items. Okay, let's see what this little guy looks like. Oh my goodness. So I'd love for you guys to like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. Oh my goodness, look at that. It is beautiful. Oh my goodness, it's so detailed. I think it's a tulip. It is so pretty. Okay. I'm gonna do another one because I'm gonna do one on each side of this one. I might go ahead and put a little bit of cornstarch in here because he is tiny. Let me know in the comments if you use air dry clay and if you've used Iron Orchid air dry clay compared to the cheap. And like I said, I get both because if I'm just rolling it out on a pickle jar like pie dough and then stamping an impression into it, I want the cheap stuff, you know? And then for the nicer pieces I use, or, you know, I use it, the IOD. So I keep both. I got in trouble for that one time because I did that. I used to do lives for the company, and you're not supposed to, I mean, I get it, it's business. You're not supposed to tell about other, and I said IOD is the best. You've got to have the IOD, but I get the cheap stuff for this, and you're not supposed to do that. I mean, I was going on their huge platform and huge page, and I appreciate them. And I was like, and I'm a rule follower, and I just messed up, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. But I'm not. I'm on my page. I'm going to tell you, get both. Get the cheap and get the good because you'll want it for, you know, the level of project you're doing. Okay. But I promise you, if I had the cheap Walmart stuff, it would not be coming out of these molds with this tiny. It's so good. Okay, let me go get my little guy out from under the old lady hair dryer. Hopefully it dried it enough to move along with the paint inlays. Let me turn the dryer off. Okay, it's not completely dry, but I think we can move it along. Yeah, let's just go a little bit longer here. And then I'll show you how easy it is to do this, to take it off and get it going. Sorry, it's like boiling water here, waiting for water to boil. Okay, we'll let that dry a little bit more while I show you what I'm thinking to do here. Because you want to be able to really use this and not break it off with the air dry clay. If you wanted to do this in resin pour and some E600 glue, that'd be, you know, stronger for good use. But this isn't probably going to be my paper once I'm not worried. But see, look. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut these off because, you know, that's where the, I could, yeah, see how that is? I'm going to just, but I wanted to see what it looked like because I'd never used this one. So you can see how fun that can be. I'm going to put these over here. Oh my goodness, I love this. You know what? I can glue them where the tassels, yeah, this is what I could do right here. Yeah, I'm leaving the tassels on here. I'm gonna glue them and I can always go like that a little bit. They're movie, so that's cool. Okay, now what we would do is take our water bottle. I hope I let it dry long enough. It's a little bit pushing through the steps here, but let's wet that down. And it just takes about, I don't know, they say 30 seconds, but, and then when I pull this off, you're gonna let it dry upside down where the paint's upside so that you can reuse it up to 2 or 3 times, okay? Oh, it works so good. It's so good. Are you ready? Let me see, I want you down here really close. I hope you can see it. Oh, guys, let me hold this up. It's so good. Watch this. This is so satisfying. So satisfying. Okay. I'm going to dry this. Let me set this over here to get it going and dry so I can use it. Now, remember, you know, this color of paint will be on the paint inlay and kind of add another layer and dimension onto your next project if you're not using the same color, which I love that. Okay, so this will need to get dry and then we'll need to seal it with water-based top coat or our wax, okay? So let me Oh, see, he fell off. That's fine. Let me get some glue. I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. I forgot to grab my glue. All right, this is my favorite glue. Tight Bond Quick and Thick. Because if you have a vertical piece, you could literally put it on there 1, 2, 3, and it'll pretty much stay down. So you can use this with a brush, but I just use my finger a lot. Because you know, it's fun to pick that glue off later. Did you guys do that in grade school and never get over it like me? Yeah, okay. Anyway, so you want to make sure you get it all the way to the edges because it does, you know, curl up a little bit as it dries. You can use any kind of glue, but you're going to have to leave it flat and it takes longer to dry. So this is worth a little bit of extra money. You can get it on Amazon or at your local hardware stores. Kind of looks like a butterfly. I can make a butterfly out of this. Oops, he fell off. Okay. And I even kind of like the glue kind of sloppy around the parts because then when you put your second coat on, if you do anything to it, you can make some resist technique and layers and texture. And so that's the kind of looks I like. I don't want pristine, solid finishes. Of course, on this custom piece, I'm just distressing it a little bit and they're not doing anything crazy. I'm doing like a smoother finish because, you know, that's their style. But my own personal preference is layered, chippy, chunky goodness. Okay, now, this is very durable. I've put this on outside pots, and it's good. Look at that. And I go ahead and in my workshops, I go ahead and move along when we do these. Sometimes I let them put the casted resin ones. I have a whole bunch of those made up. And then you can really manhandle it and get it in the grooves and stuff because you have to have a really light hand and a spray bottle if you're doing this. But you can. Look at that. Okay, let's pull this other one up. Man, I'm just tearing this up. Did I hit that? I felt it hit something. Okay, so I can still kind of use this if I want with it. A little bit of care, but I'm gonna hang jewelry or something off of this. And like, this is chalk paint, so if I didn't seal it, I could actually write sell half price off or something, you know. So you can hang these on a wall and do different stuff with them. But I really like the idea of propping this up on your counter with a recipe on here. Okay, so let's spray this down, and so you can see it's dry. Pretty good. I mean, it could be better. Matter of fact, let's just hit it just real quick. Oh, there's somebody coming in. Okay. So I'm going to wrap this up in a minute. It's my friend. She'll wait on me until I finish this. So because I didn't dry this one as long, it might not adheres good, but we're gonna go ahead and do it. Like, so we're wetting it down now. This is the paint inlays. They're so good. Don't be afraid of them. Hey there, I'm finishing up. You're fine to come in. I'm just finishing up the live. Okay, ready? Okay. Oh. Hang on. So good. So good. Okay, and then I'm gonna lay this upside down so this can dry and be used again. Oops. Hang on. Okay. So then after I paint this and seal this, look how cute that is and how fast. So if I wait 24 hours to let that dry, it'll really be easier to paint, but you can move along with it. So that is how you do the paint inlays and weathered wood. All right. Oh yeah, and I'll probably put this. And it's probably best to paint them before you glue them on if you don't like, if you want really precise coverage. A lot of the workshop people are not super artsy, so it freaks them out to have their, you know, like food touching on their plate. They don't like their colors touching. So paint these before you glue them on if you're going to be picky. Okay, so I'm going to probably do something like that on the sides with that. Isn't that good? So anyways, that's all I have for you today. This is the new Victoria release. I don't know what that paint inlay is, but if you click in the description box, it'll go to the 25 release, and there's some paint inlays. Just look at my website, decorizingyourlife.com. Thanks for watching. See you next Tuesday.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's totally fine. Let me end this real quick.
I thought